Hit record. Hey Ali, how you doing? Um, so when you set up GoToWebinar, when you set up your webinar funnel, well, actually, you know what? Let's show. I'll show you the actual webinar page. So this is the webinar page. I had one field, and it was a full name field. So a full name gets first and last name, but it doesn't require both first and last names. So I changed it so they were two separate fields, and that seems to have resolved the issue because what would happen is a full name field, and people were only putting in their first name, and so they weren't getting they actually weren't getting registered. I literally had probably 500 people register before Tuesday. Um, and only 40% actually ended up getting registered in GoToWebinar. It was actually Sharon who's on here helped me um, figure that out. So I appreciate Sharon. You know, she's messaging on the Facebook group saying, "Hey, I registered and didn't get any emails and things like that." So that's what helped me figure that out. Um, Bart is asking if I can share that funnel. I don't see why not. Let's I have to actually open it up in another page here. Um, but let me see. I'm gonna. Hey, Alfredo, how you doing? Alfredo from Bucharest. Um, let me. I just want to make sure there's nothing in this funnel that's like company sensitive data, right? I'll show you guys what I'm doing here. Um, so this is the funnel actually. I have this webinar broadcast page where I actually did a YouTube live using that one time. Um, the reason I don't use YouTube Live for these is simply just because of the scheduling. You have to schedule each YouTube Live individually, so it's kind of a pain. I've actually considered doing um, like a Facebook live if I could figure out how to do that. Like, I know I can share my screen in Facebook, but I would want to allow for like multiple presenters too, basically. And I think that would be kind of cool. I don't know. What do you guys think? Um, would you guys prefer Facebook Live over GoToWebinar? Um, I mean, as long as I can get the registration, you might have to register for each session though. That's the one thing I like about the GoToWebinars. I can just create like a um, ton of sessions basically, and then you just have to register once. So I don't think you can do that with Facebook Live. Um, oh, interesting. People are saying they prefer GoToWebinar. So here, I'm going to clean up this page. What JavaScript? Okay, so this was for YouTube Live, and the chat was actually the YouTube Live comment embed. I put together a doc on this. Let me see. Let's see. YouTube Live video. I think it's on here. Maybe, oh, you know what? Maybe it's not that one. Oh, you know what? I think I did this as a Q&A. I'll have to find that. But basically, um, there is, I'm gonna find this on another screen because this was a pretty cool one. If you want to just do a YouTube Live instead of go to webinar. Have I looked at Webinar Jam? You know, I actually used to use Webinar Jam. Um, people constantly complained about the quality. It was always choppy, and always had a bunch of issues with it. I think they've improved it. That was before all the, Google Hangout updates, YouTube Live updates, but um, let's see. So um, so I can actually, one second, I'm gonna give you guys a couple of links here. Um, Sorry, it's taken me a minute. So here's the YouTube video. I'll add this to the chat. I just had a video start auto-playing on another monitor, and it was my own voice. Kind of scared me a little bit. All right, so there's a YouTube link for the Q&A webinar I did on how to do a YouTube live video. And then here is a link for, it's a Google support article on how to use the live chat. So there's a couple of links there. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started. And I lost my questions now. Hold on. There we go. Okay. Yeah, it is pretty odd. Like, maybe I'll check out Webinar Jam again, but I've got everyone registered in GoToWebinar, and don't want to have to make anyone register again anytime soon. So we'll see. Terry's asking about yesterday's. The replay is in the docs. If you guys go to docs.clickfunnel.com, actually, I'm already right here. Let's do that. Let's scroll down here. Weekly Q&A replays. I'm only keeping the most recent ones, so there will actually be 3 each week, right? The funnels, integrations, and actionetics. Just because a lot of times we cover the same content and things update. You know, I went back and I was looking at like although like we have replays from like 2014, 2015, and the interface was completely different. Everything looked different, so it was more confusing to you guys than anything. So, wow, we got a lot more people on here now. I've just been rambling for a while. We got 43 people on here now. So here's the link to the Q&A replays. All right. So, Sharon's saying to number them 170307, and they will be in order. Yeah, that's a good idea. I really like that idea, but I really don't want to have to go back through like 100 different videos on YouTube and rename them. I'll have to find someone on Upwork to do that for me or something. So anyway, I want to do something kind of cool today. And I actually want to bring one of you guys on here with me. I don't know if you saw my post in the Facebook group. Oh, that's not my post. Let me see. Hold on. I don't know where my post is. But basically, I was saying, hey, let's walk through setting up your domain. It got lost now. There's so many posts and comments and things like that. But I was saying, hey, let's set up your domain, and we'll walk you through. You know, if you have a domain you need to set up right now, let's get you on right now, and I will walk you through it. Everyone can watch. So you'd have to be okay with everyone seeing your screen. So what I'll do. Oh yeah, I need to share this funnel. Man, I'm distracted. That's why I need Fred here. He keeps me on task. I must have ADD or something, or too much caffeine. I just wanted to check this page really quick. Oh yeah, this page is fine. Okay, so if I go to setting, oh wait, that's not it. I need to go to settings. Hold on. Sorry guys. Settings. Share funnel link right here. So I'm gonna add that to the chat. There you go. So you guys can get this webinar funnel. Honestly, I just created. I didn't put a lot into this. I don't love it personally, but it is kind of a cool page. You know, just the opt-in form. Then I have my information here below. So I just wanted to have the information about the you know, 3 days, and then this little button that bounces is kind of cool. That's just in the advanced settings on your buttons. So anybody have any domains they need to set up right now that wants to get on here and share their screen, and I will walk you through that. Just how many How many people are interested in doing that? If there is a if there's a few people, here's what I'll do. Want to pick a number between. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to use a random number generator. Here we go. Pick a number between 1 and 1,000. Let's see if we can do this with a random number generator. Oh, look, Google has one. So pick a number between 1 and 1,000, and whoever's closest, I will bring you on the call with me right now, and we will set your domain, SMTP, everything up. So got a few people putting some numbers. I'm going to give it a little bit more, give people a chance if they want to just add a number between 1 and 1,000, and I'm going to pick a number in 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, let's go ahead and generate a number here. 40. Person who is closest is Sharon. It is your lucky day, Sharon. She guessed 25. I did not think it would be that low. That's interesting. So here's what we're going to do, Sharon. I'm going to make you a presenter. And let's see. You should be able to start speaking now. You should be able to share your screen. I can hear something. I think I hear you, Sharon.
G'day.
Hey, how are you doing?
Oh, well, thank you, Mark. Welcome
It's early for you, huh?
welcome to the cusp of Outback Australia.
Awesome. Great to have you on here. Um,
Now, do you want me to pick? I've got a couple of domain names that are not being used, and so do you
yeah,
want to sit down?
yeah. Go ahead and share your screen so that way I can walk you through it. And I mean, I could do it on my screen, but then you'd have to give me all your passwords and things like that. So we'll just this way you can just log into your accounts and do all that, and it'll be easier.
Yep.
All right. Well, you got a lot of browser tabs open.
Yes, I do.
All right. So let's let's. What's
Are there
that?
too many? Will so many browser tabs open affect anything?
Well, it can slow down your computer. I mean, just having that many browser tabs open, but seems to be doing okay. So
All right. Okay.
let's go ahead and set up your domain. So the first thing you're going to do, you already have your domain registered, right?
I do.
Okay. And who do you have that registered through?
HostGator.
Host data or HostGator? Okay, sorry.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
you're getting used to my accent here, so.
I'm used to American accents, but are you used to Australian accents? That's the question.
Well, see, I'm the one that has the accent to you, right? So.
No, because I'm hearing Americans all the time.
Oh, okay.
So when I hear an Australian, I think, gee, they sound weird.
Yeah, so actually, you're going to need to be at least logged into your HostGator account and ClickFunnels. That's what you're going to need.
Yep.
And then we'll take a look at the domain that you have and kind of figure out how you want to set it up. So you have a couple of different options when you're setting it up. You can do a subdomain. So like if you have a WordPress site on that domain already, like on your primary domain, you could do a subdomain. Or if you just want to use the whole domain with ClickFunnels and nothing else, we can do that as well.
No, this will be one that deliberately doesn't have anything. It's just a domain that I've got.
Okay. And if anybody has any questions along the way, please add those to the, if you want clarification on what we're talking about here, I'm going to be walking Sharon through this process of setting up the domain so you guys can all see it. And then if you guys need clarification on something, so this is going to show you how to do it if you're using HostGator. It's going to be a little bit different, depending on your host. But let's which domain do you want to use in your
Now,
ClickFunnels account?
let's see. I've got two already set up with SendGrid. Um, let's do let's do let's do happiness, lifestyle, success.
Okay.
Okay.
So um, go ahead and go over to your ClickFunnels account.
Yep.
All right, and then you're going to go to account and click on custom domains. You know what? Are you using the GoToMeeting app, or are you in the browser?
I'm in the browser.
Oh, okay. So I was gonna say if you're using the actual app, there's a way that you can allow me to like point on your screen, but that's okay. Um, okay, so go ahead and click Add New Domain, and click Use an Existing Domain. You notice there's a new feature coming soon. I don't know how soon, but you'll be able to actually register your domain through there. So how have you done it in the past? Did you do the manual setup through Cloudflare, or did you do the automatic setup?
No, it was some time ago, so I used Cloudflare.
Okay, so this automatic setup is the new way to set up your domains, unless your domain is already on Cloudflare. And this can be for subdomains, and you can use your primary domain if you have it with www. So you see how below you have certainwaytowealth.com?
Yep.
If you were to set that up using this automatic setup, it would have to be www.certainwaytowealth.com. Does that make sense?
Yeah, does that mean if people don't put the www in that they can't get onto the domain?
No, so what you would do, and we'll go through this, you would set up a redirect inside your
Okay,
hosting account
gotcha.
to redirect the non-www to the www. So go ahead and
Yep.
click the automatic setup right there, and
And
go ahead and type your domain in, but you're going to add the www.
now, sorry, can I just ask a question here?
Sure.
A site, my main site, my main website, which has got WordPress on it,
Uh-huh.
and my blog site, so the main site I use. Can I put that here and use it without affecting it?
You could do a subdomain.
Okay.
So like if
Because
you
that could,
wanted to do like offers.yourdomain.com or something like that, you could do that.
yeah, the site is actually Self-Made Success 101. So, um, so it would be useful for me if I could also use that website in ClickFunnels.
So it's a WordPress site.
Yes.
So you could do the WordPress plugin and add your ClickFunnels pages to your WordPress site, but you just can't use you can't do like order pages or
No,
membership
no, no,
pages.
sorry. I said it wrongly. Um, if some of my pages in ClickFunnels could have my Self-Made Success 101 name, it just gives it branding, you know?
Right, right. Yeah, so it would need to be a subdomain. So you could do like what's the domain again? Get selfmade or selfmadesuccess.com.
Self-Made Success 101.com is the actual domain.
So you could do like get.selfmadesuccess101.com or go or anything any kind of subdomain you want really be in front of that, but it would have to be a subdomain.
All right, that's fine. Can we do that?
Yeah. So go ahead and type in whatever subdomain you want here. Like I said, you do get, you could do go, you could do deals, offers. I've seen people use funnels. Just
What about
anything. Yeah, you could do that. There you go.
achieve?
Achieving. Yeah. Dot selfmadesuccess101.com. So while you're doing that, there's a couple of people asking if this is being recorded. Yes, it is. Anne's asking, can we cover subdomains? So this is exactly what we're covering right now is the subdomains. So the next step here, go ahead and click on Create New User. Okay, so you haven't added a Cloudflare user to your ClickFunnels account yet. So if you already had done this, you would select that user from the dropdown. But what you're going to do is add your Cloudflare user and password into those fields. The password
Um,
will be the password is going to be obscured, so people won't see it on the screen share.
but
Um,
I will have to look it up.
yeah, because you will need your Cloudflare login there. Because what it does is it actually adds just the subdomain to Cloudflare through our API. So,
Okay. So I've got all my passwords on an Excel spreadsheet.
okay, so you could actually pause your screen if you wanted to, so that way people don't see that.
Well, the
Um,
other way of doing it is if I open Cloudflare, it will probably automatically give me the password, which I can then copy and paste.
oh, okay, you could do that too.
Okay, let's do that.
Ali is asking what Cloudflare is. Cloudflare is a DNS host that we use at ClickFunnels that basically allows it manages your DNS records. And so in order to integrate your domains with ClickFunnels, it has to go through Cloudflare.
So there you go.
Yeah, so I don't think you're going to be able to copy
So,
that there. It won't copy unless you have a way to. It's just
minute.
going to copy it's just going to copy the dots. It won't copy the actual password right there.
Okay, I need to open my Excel spreadsheet. So I'll close Cloudflare. And now you said I need to pause the webinar for a minute, do I?
Yeah, I would click
How do I do
pause
that?
on this. If you go to the GoToWebinar app or page, you should be able to pause the screen share.
Go to web. No, I've only got the chat.
Is there like a pause button on the screen share?
Um, show screen, stop showing screen, stop showing
Yeah,
screen. How about that
you
one?
could do that, yeah. So we won't see your screen for a minute
Okay,
here,
won't take
but
me a second.
we don't want
Okay.
we don't want anyone to get your password or anything.
Well, it's all of
Terry,
you.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I'll just do that quickly.
Terry's asking if we're not currently a Cloudflare user, then we need to create an account, correct? So you can actually, if you don't have a Cloudflare account, it will create one for you through the API. You can just put in an email and create a password right there, and it'll create the Cloudflare account for you. So let's see. David is asking what do we need from GoDaddy to move things over? It's going to be a very similar process. And once we get the domain added in here, it's basically all you have to do is add a couple of CNAMEs to GoDaddy. You don't even have to move anything from GoDaddy. Martin is asking, is it easy to switch back and forth between root domain and subdomain after initial setup? Yeah, so you can add your root domain with the www, and you can add subdomains and things like that. And it would be really easy to do. But there's an issue with multiple subdomains right now. Having more than one subdomain on the same that's part of the same domain. So I'm not sure if that issue's been fixed, but it will be possible once that's fixed. Do you have to have a domain subdomain to be able to send automated emails? Brett is asking. Um, yeah, definitely. You should have an SMTP server set up using your own domain and not using a hosted email like Gmail, Yahoo, or something like that. You really should have uh, your own domain email set up. So um, here's the link. Mona's asking for the uh, replays. So there's the link to the replays. And Johnny's asking, so I don't have to actually create the subdomain with my hosting account before I create in ClickFunnels. That's correct. You will have to go in there and add a CNAME though. All right, so it looks like Sharon's back. She's got her password.
Now I had forgotten what email, so I'm just going to have to open Cloudflare again.
Yeah, that's right. How about multiple URLs hosted on one
Just
VPS? Philip's asking about multiple URLs on one VPS. I haven't heard any issues with that. I don't see why that would be a problem at all. Let's see. Jerry's saying he had a problem with his main domain. Yeah, there might be. Mona can't see the link. It's in the chat. If you do go to the GoToWebinar chat, you should be able to see the link there. All right, so you've got your user and password. Like I said before, if you don't have a Cloudflare account already, you can just enter your email address and create a password right there, and it's going to create a Cloudflare account for you. And then you're going to want to set your root page. So if you don't have a funnel set up already for this domain, you don't have to worry about it, but you will want to come back in here and set that root and error page to a default page, because if you don't set those, what's going to happen is if somebody goes to achieving.selfmadesuccess101.com, it's going to redirect them to the ClickFunnels homepage. So just make sure that that you do set those root and error pages, or else you're just advertising for us basically. So if you have those pages created, you can go ahead and select those. If not, you can skip that. And then right below there, if you click outside of that drop down, it'll close it. You'll see right below the root of the URL there is there's a thing that says SSL enabled, and then you see it over on the right hand side where it says off. That's going to enable the HTTPS for your domain, but you don't want to turn that on just yet because the SSL isn't going to be set up yet. It might take, it can actually take up to 72 hours for that to go through. But go ahead and click Create Domain, and we may get an error at first just because your Cloudflare account hasn't been added. Sometimes that happens. But go ahead and click that Create Domain button.
So, Mark, the root of URL, I don't have to put anything in there.
You don't have to right now, but
okay.
You will if you have a funnel already for that domain, then you can go ahead and add it. If not, you can come back and do that later. But you will want to do that before you go live.
Okay. And what about the 404 error page? Why?
You can select any. I usually just set that to be the same page as the root page because I don't usually set. But you can set up a separate 404 page as well if you want to.
Okay. About the create domain.
Yep. And yeah, okay. So it looks like the email or password wasn't correct there. You might need to retype your password.
It's Sharon at success101@gmail.com. So that's right.
David is asking. Yeah, let's see. Oh yeah, it looks like the email and password is not working.
All right, I'm just going to try a different password. No, but this one belongs. No, sorry. Okay, I'll have another quick look, or am I holding you up for too long?
No, that's all right. Go ahead and take a look at it, and I'm going to go ahead and get to some of these other questions that are on here. So, let's see. Kathy's saying, I use Namecheap to register and HostGator to host. Would you recommend going with one service that does both? Not necessarily. I mean, it's your preference. If you guys want, I have two recommendations that I usually give for this. Um, GoDaddy is honestly the easiest one to deal with, just be it for registering domains, setting things up, adding CNAMEs, that kind of stuff. It's the easiest one. And they actually have pretty good support too. Um, but for price, I personally use DreamHost. And because basically when you sign up with a GoDaddy, you basically, if you have to add an email address, if you have to, for each thing you need hosting for, it's like an extra $10 a month, an extra $5 a month. All these, they kind of nickel and dime you a little bit. But I actually use DreamHost, and I pay like $200 for every 2 years, and I get unlimited hosting, unlimited emails, and then I just have to pay each time I register a domain. So I would actually like. I've never had any issues with DreamHost. I really like them. So if you're looking for, value, I would recommend DreamHost, and they're pretty easy to use too. Let's see. Tom is saying I've set up a Cloudflare account and added it into the ClickFunnels account. When I add a second subdomain, the system does not ask for the Cloudflare login info. That's correct. You should. Um, Once you, I'll actually share my screen here really quick. While Sharon's getting her password all squared away. Let me let's see if I can find myself here. So let's find the right screen. All right, you guys should be able to see my screen there. So if I go to, oh wait, I need a different account. This account actually. So let's go to custom domains. So once you've already added a domain in, like you see here, if you go into add a new domain, like use an existing domain, if you click create new user, it'll pull in all the previous ones that you have added. And so it'll, you won't have to add the username and password again. So like if you just add that user, it gets rid of the password. It saves your password for you basically. So let's see. Johnny is asking. Let me know whenever you're ready, Sharon.
Okay.
Let's see. Johnny's asking, do I add the CNAME with my hosting account in my registrar where the domain actually is? I have it pointing to my hosting account, but it is actually in my one-on-one account. Yeah, so wherever your DNS is hosted, Johnny, that's where you would add the CNAMEs. And one-in-one is actually kind of a huge pain because you actually have to add a subdomain for each CNAME that you add. It took me forever to figure that one out. Bart saying he was trying to figure out what the Quanda replays meant because the link is weekly Quanda replays. Let's see, how many funnels can be on each domain? There isn't. The only limit is the limit to the funnels in your account. If you're on the startup plan, you have 20 funnels. If you're on the full suite, unlimited. So there's not a limit. The only thing is you can't use the same page path for multiple pages. Oh, look at that. It's reminding me to save because I haven't saved this page in a while. It's kind of cool, right? I'm going to move this one out of the way here. So can we point multiple URLs to a single funnel? I guess you could create multiple domains and then change the route to point to the same funnel. You could do that. Is there a limit to the amount of sites I can add under a free Cloudflare account? I have not seen one. Tom is saying, I'm about to sign 2 clients. I wanted to use redhat.foresightmarketing.com and mesadental.foresightmarketing.com. You mentioned there might be a bug in doing this. Yeah, maybe you reach out to our support team because I'm not sure if that's been resolved yet. But having multiple subdomains from the same root domain, there was an issue that we were seeing. Kathy says GoDaddy costs more and they call me too often. So Anthony's saying, I use GoDaddy for domain, SiteGround for hosting, so the CNAME gets changed in SiteGround, right? It depends on how you set it up. So if your name servers, your name servers will be in GoDaddy. If your name servers are pointing to SiteGround, then you would use SiteGround for the CNAME. If you have all your DNS in GoDaddy, then you would update it in GoDaddy. Um, let's see.
Ready whenever you are, Mark.
What's that? Oh, okay. Sorry, I was just going through the questions there. I'm gonna have you go ahead. I'm gonna make you the presenter again. Let me see. Okay, so you'll just need to share your screen. All right. Oh, okay, so you've already added it there. So this is what's
Yes.
going to pop up after you click the Create Domain. And so you're going to need to add 2 CNAME records. And so what you're going to want to do, go ahead and copy target.clickfunnels.com, not the quotes, but just copy target.clickfunnels.com under bullet item number 1 there.
Ah, got you.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then go ahead and go over to HostGator. I think it's the tab to the left of where you're at. I don't know. There's too many tabs.
Sorry.
And then you're going to want to pull up your Self-Made Success 101 domain. There's so many different hosts. You probably want to click either on the domain itself or on that gear icon, but you want to get to a section where it says Manage DNS. So off to the right, there's that little gear. See if there's an option to manage DNS there.
How's that one?
Let's see, scroll down a little bit. I don't see anything about DNS. Go ahead and just click on the domain itself. Let's see what. Oh, it does the same thing, huh? Click on the domain and scroll
Yeah,
down.
nothing happened.
Okay. It's got to be one of those. See the little tabs to the left?
Whoops.
Just try clicking on some of those different
No,
tabs.
so we don't.
No, it's not going to be your
Well, now
name.
they're the current. Okay, so
Oh,
some of
I
these
see.
guys. Ah,
Domain
there we go.
locking, name servers. Yeah, that's weird.
Just go up a bit.
Wow. Does anybody know where you change your DNS records in HostGator? I don't use HostGator, so
I
I'm
did it.
asking you guys the questions this time. Yeah, maybe scroll all the way up to the top, and there might be another section altogether. Let's see. If you scroll all the way back up, is there anything?
That's
Nope, you're
not
under domains, manage domains. Um,
search name. Sorry, why
look
don't I
for
search something?
someone's saying look for cPanel. Where's your cPanel? I guess you go to
Oh,
hosting
the
maybe.
cPanels are different altogether. The
Yeah.
cPanels are different altogether.
Okay. So I guess you need your cPanel. That's
All
I've
right.
done I know host I've done it in HostGator before, but it was a long time ago,
Well, to go
and
to the
so
cPanel is, whoops. Isn't it funny how when someone's watching you get all weird?
yeah, I know what you mean. Oh, cool. There we go. All right. So now we should see something here on the page for manage DNS. It's going to probably be under the domains section. So scroll down. There we go. So we want advanced DNS zone editor. I think that's Charles.
Yep.
He's clapping for us in the questions. Um,
So pick the domain.
yeah, go ahead and select the domain there. All right, so we're going to add a record. So you're going to, for the name, you're going to type, what did you use for the domain name?
Achieve.
Achieve. So type achieve right there.
That's the domain,
And
the
yeah,
subdomain.
and then for type, select CNAME. See where it says A? It's like a
Yeah,
little
all right.
drop down. Yeah,
Yep.
and
See
select
that?
CNAME,
Yep.
and then paste that target.clickfunnels.com for the CNAME right there.
Sorry, paste what?
What you copied from ClickFunnels, you're going to paste it into the field right below where it
Oh,
says,
right,
yeah.
target. Oh, I haven't done this before. This is new.
Yeah, this is new. It's a little bit different. So then go ahead and
Okay.
click Add Record.
Okay, code.
Um,
Look at that.
oh, so the TTL value, change it to 14,400 where it says TTL.
14,400.
Yep, just like that.
But if I didn't have you helping me with this, how would I know to do all these things?
You would probably have to contact HostGator.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, see that's what's tricky about this process. When is there so many different hosts that you're dealing with when you're adding these DNS records? Is it's not all the same thing? When you add it through Cloudflare, it is a little bit more tricky, but it's all Cloudflare. You're adding the DNS records in Cloudflare, so it's kind of there are some trade-offs. Um,
When I set the other two up, it was a breeze, no problem at all.
yeah, and you did that through Cloudflare, I'm sure. The,
I
so
probably
this way
yes,
is basically because you have to change your name servers, and so a lot of times people don't want to change their name servers because they already have a website on the same domain and everything, just like you have here. And so this
yes.
works really well because all you have to do is add a couple of CNAME records. You don't have to move your whole all your
Ah,
DNS hosting and everything.
oh, that's
Um,
really important. And also, we're opening a subdomain as well, so it's another
right.
step.
Yeah. Go ahead and go back to your ClickFunnels account now because we got to get a second sub CNAME.
Can I close Cloudflare?
Yeah, you won't need that.
Okay,
And
back at
what you're gonna do,
ClickFunnels.
you're gonna copy, see number two where it says create a CNAME record for, and then it has a big long string of
Yep.
characters. You want the first part where from B5 all the way to
All the way
6, 7,
to
not the whole thing, just to the first dot. So right at 6, 7, right there. Copy that,
Yep.
and then go back to HostGator, and then you're gonna paste that in the name field under Add a Record, and then go ahead and type 14,400 again in the TTL. And then for type, select CNAME. And then for the CNAME field, we're going to need to go back to ClickFunnels. And you're going to select everything below on the second line there, everything in the quotes. So you're going to copy that, and then paste that there, and then add the record. And that's it. So now, really, all you have to wait for is for HostGator to update their DNS records. So if you go back to ClickFunnels,
Yep.
um, and then go and close that, you'll see for your domain it says SSL certificate authorizing, CNAME inactive. Once
Yeah.
HostGator has propagated, it won't say CNAME inactive anymore once it finds your CNAME records.
I just
So
love this stuff. I just love it. It's so good when you see it there. Think, oh, look what I've done. I'm that clever.
yeah. So Johnny is asking, is 14,400 the same with every host? Not necessarily. Um, I had her put that in there because that's what it had for the other CNAMEs. Philip's asking, why is this being done on HostGator and not managed through Cloudflare? So this is an alternate setup um, where you don't have to change your name servers to Cloudflare. In the past, everyone had to change their name servers to Cloudflare. And I know a lot of people were okay with that, but there were a lot of people who had trouble with that just because changing the name servers, they thought they were going to break the internet. and different things. So we added a second, it's a second method basically, primarily for adding subdomains like we've done, but you can also add domains if you add the www to your root domain. So just two different methods there. David saying, did I understand correctly? If one wants to use the primary domain, we need to establish a dummy subdomain called www. That is exactly correct. If you're using the automatic setup. If you don't want to add www, you would use the manual setup. Kind of the traditional historical setup. Philip's asking if we can go over setup using Cloudflare. Probably not today because we're almost out of time, but we can definitely get to that next week. This is, we are trying to make this process as simple as possible because we understand like ClickFunnels is a system meant to simplify creating your funnels, getting your pages up, right? But there is, when you're dealing with domains, it's simply just going to be a technical process. There's only so much we can do to simplify that. That's why you saw when Sharon clicked Add New Domain, there's an option coming soon where you can just register your domain through ClickFunnels, and it would automatically be set up in your account. Like you wouldn't even have to do anything else. It would just be set up. You register your domain, set up, ready to go. Not sure how soon that's coming, but that's going to make it way easier. David's asking, if we set up mydomain.com, will all subdomains also be redirected to ClickFunnels? No, that won't be the case. That's going to depend on your DNS records where you have those subdomains pointed. Tom is saying, once we have the subdomain set up, will the funnel have the subdomain URL instead of the ClickFunnels URL? Yeah, so that's the other part to this, is then you have to go into your funnel in each funnel step and change the domain. So I'm going to go ahead and take the screen back, Sharon, if you don't mind.
Yep.
And I'll show you guys that really quick. So once you've added a domain, you're going to go into your funnel. So let's see, I'll go into this funnel here. And this is also something that we're working on improving to make the process simpler, because right now there's actually your funnel settings right here on the top where you click settings. You have to change the domain here, and you can change the path. You can change this path to whatever you want. And this is your funnel domain. And then for each step, so right here, the funnel step settings or the publishing tab here, you have to change the domain. So I can say opt-in page, or free book or something like that, right? And then right here in the actual page settings, you have to select the domain. So we're working on simplifying this process as well, so that you don't have to change it in so many places. Because a lot of the issues that we see is if you have like your order pages on different domains, your orders aren't going to process, and you'll get an error that pops up right here. So we're working on simplifying that so that all you do is change the domain in the settings, and it's going to update it for all your pages. So that's going to make it a lot easier for you guys as well. Patrick's asking if this is going to be archived. Yep, it's going to be added to the support docs. Philip's saying, if I'm having issues with the SSL releasing, should I try the manual option, setting up with my hosting rather than on Cloudflare? You could try that. I'm not sure why the SSL wouldn't update, because it's based on the CNAME. Sometimes I've seen, it can just take a while to propagate, but if it's been 3 days or 72 hours and it still hasn't, there may be an issue with the CNAMEs, propagating. You may have to contact your host to have them force refresh your DNS, something like that. And then the other part to this, after you set up your domain, is setting up your SMTP. And so, like, you would set up your domain, and then you would set up your SMTP settings. And so I go into SMTP settings. You see, I've set up with send 13. And so I have myfunneldomain.com is actually one that I added to ClickFunnels, and then I have, I added that to send 13, so I can send emails from info@myfunneldomain.com, and so I have my branding on the front and then on the emails as well. And so you'll want to use something like send 13, and those are things we'll be discussing on this integrations webinar as well. is setting up your SMTP. So today was primarily going over subdomain. If you guys have any other questions on any of this, let me know. I'll take questions for the next couple of minutes. But other than that, I'll call it a day if you don't have any more questions. Um, Tom saying my funnel does not have the steps tab next to the overview tab. So I think he's talking about right here. Let's see, where was that? If I go into the funnel. Patrick saying, is SMTP needed with Actionetics? Yes, you have to have SMTP in order to use Actionetics. SMTP is the server that actually delivers the emails. Steps. So this is actually one of the new features. If you go all in, you should get access to. So this shows you your funnel steps or your stats. These are the new funnel stats. They're so pretty and cool. You can see basically how much money each page is making you. Earnings per page view. It's pretty cool. You can even then drill down your stats based on like if somebody's on desktop or mobile, date, affiliate IDs, like which affiliates are driving stats, UTM parameters. So those are pretty cool stats. If you are all in, you should have access to those already. So let me see a couple other questions. The only way to send emails to people from an order form is to have a custom domain. So if you have an order form, like if you haven't set up SMTP and you have products and you're selling products, and in your product settings you will have a fulfillment email. That fulfillment email will still go out, but it'll come from ClickFunnels. So if you're selling something, you don't want emails coming from ClickFunnels because you want your own branding on there. So Pamela saying, can you please address the 3 places to change the domain again? I went muy rápido. So let's go back to overview. So the first place is the settings, the primary settings. So it's actually 2 places for each funnel step, and then the 1 place in the main funnel settings. So you go to funnel settings right here, and then for each funnel step, there's 2 places, and it's the little gear buttons. There's one right here and one right here. So those are the 2 places for each funnel step where you update the domain. Let's see. Courtney saying, is the stats page taking a while? I can't get the 15 free funnels of the stats. We were having some issues earlier that our engineers were working on, and they're doing some maintenance and stuff right now, so things might be delayed. Eric's saying on GoDaddy, I don't see a place to enter the Cloudflare string. Oh, okay. So like the CNAME, you'd have to add a new DNS record if you go in GoDaddy. I don't have a GoDaddy account, so I wouldn't be able to show you, but you basically have to add a CNAME record is what you need to do. You go into the domain, click Manage DNS or something like that, and then you can add the CNAMEs there. So that's going to be about it for today. Thank you, Sharon, for sharing your screen with us, and I hope everyone was able to learn a lot from this. That's what we showed you guys is the automatic domain setup primarily for subdomains. Courtney's saying, once you set up CNAME once, do you need to do it again for other funnels? No, each SMTP account is basically your from address. So if you want multiple from addresses, then you would have to set up multiple SMTPs. So yeah, that's going to be it for today. Thank you guys for coming out, and I'll be back tomorrow. We'll be talking about Actionetics. That's the one I'm excited about. So hopefully you guys come out, and we see you tomorrow. Take care now.